Aldrich, it took 77 holes, but you're officially the youngest winner ever from South Africa here on the PGA Tour. Describe the type of commitment it took to battle through a day like this.
It was definitely a tough day. The start didn't go my way. I struggled to make putts, left a lot short. So finally got one to the hole, and I just saw the ball roll over end over end, and I just knew it was going to go in.
We had plenty of time to talk to your dad, who was following you during this entire playoff, and he said the sacrifice it has taken to get here from everyone in our family involved. Talk about that sacrifice and talk about what it means now to have a career-changing win.
Yeah, we had to give up a lot. Moving to Australia, moving back, immigrating is definitely not the easiest thing, and coming alone at the start of my career to the States and giving it a grind, and having my dad here has helped so much. And yeah, big thanks to my family, friends, coaches, everyone who's been involved to kind of get me to this point, and I'm just happy to walk away as a winner.
It's very late in South Africa, but your dad told me everyone is awake. His phone has not stopped buzzing. Go celebrate this one. Congratulations.
I'd like to welcome the 2025 Rocket Classic champion, Aldrich Potgieter. Aldrich, it's been a long day, long playoff. How would you kind of characterize today and what it took to come out on top for your first PGA Tour win?
It was a big grind. I mean, it was a very long day and kind of couldn't get ahead of myself, and I didn't get off to the best start, so I knew there was a lot of holes still available, still to get back, and there was a switch that kind of went off when I lost the lead, and I kind of felt like, okay, I can kind of chase something, so I kind of had to pull myself out of the environment I was in before those first couple of holes and get in that chase mode where I can kind of play some different golf that I played the first 3 days. So when that went off, I birdied the par 5 on 7, birdied 8, had a really good look on 9, so I felt the momentum switch there, definitely.
And then one more for me before we open it up to media for questions. How difficult was it mentally? You came into the day with a 2-shot lead, and then it seemed like the whole day was kind of fighting to get there, and then a long playoff. I guess, what was the mental battle that you had today?
Definitely seeing a lot of putts not drop. I left a lot short, so it was definitely a grind to kind of pull something out of the books to kind of feel like I can hit the putt a lot harder, but not lose where I'm aiming and matching the speed on the line. So it was definitely hard playing all of those playoff holes where putts weren't dropping, where I had really good looks at it. So it was nice to finish on a really good putt on that par 3 to get the victory. So that was good.
All right. Media, if you have any questions, please raise your hand. We can get a microphone over to you. We'll start in the back here with Jimmy.
Hey, Aldrich, congrats, awesome stuff today. Can you talk a little bit about heading to the first tee, just kind of how you felt heading into today's round?
Yeah, waking up this morning was quite difficult. I had to book out of my Airbnb at 10 o'clock, so was out of there and only needed to show up to the course at around 12, so drank a coffee somewhere, and that got me a little shaky, but no, it was okay. I kind of struggled to eat a little bit. Kind of the nerves kicked in when I got here, kind of sitting at player dining. But I think that's just kind of normal and kind of have to get through that. But yeah, that first tee shot, hit a great drive, hit a great pitch shot, and made a putt. So that got me through that, and it was nice to start the day off with a birdie.
You arrived at the first tee even before the group that went off before you. Was there anything there?
No, I kind of like to sit, mark 2 or 3 golf balls, get into a nice headspace. Did an interview as well before I teed off. So yeah, it's my time just before I tee off where I can kind of get a breath in, relax, and kind of get my head ready.
Earlier this week, you shot 29 on the front, and I think it was on the 7th tee today, you were actually 1 over on that front 9. Where were you at right after those 2 bogeys?
Yeah, it was definitely playing different than yesterday. That front 9 played a little bit more difficult, like the tee shot on 2. I'm not the biggest fan of that tee shot. It was a little into the wind, and 3-wood and driver kind of, I've been hitting it a little bit spinny, but it's kind of the good spin that keeps the ball kind of when I hit it knuckly, it kind of goes a little sideways, and I kind of hit a little knuckly drive, and it kind of just drifted to the right, and unfortunately had to take the unplayable. But yeah, it was difficult to get through those first 4 holes, even the par 5, fourth with the OB right and the big tree on the left. I can't start my drive way on the left side and play that natural fade. So it was definitely a grind to get through those first 4 or 5 holes.
We spoke earlier this week about your new irons in the bag and kind of some of your gapping issues. Was there anything, any shots today on approach, specifically maybe that approach into 15 or maybe on 18 in regulation where you came up short into the valley? Was that kind of the issue you were dealing with there?
The first time playing 18, just before the playoff, we were kind of in between, and the wind was kind of going all over the place. We couldn't make up our minds if it was hurting or if it was straight off the right. And I had my lie, I was on a little hill, so the ball was kind of a little above my feet, and I was trying to hit a 50-degree, bring it in with the wind, and it came up just 2 yards short. I think if I got on top, it wouldn't have had much spin coming back down. So I think it would have placed me basically where I was on the first playoff hole if I just hit it maybe a yard or 2 further. And then hitting it basically in the same spot on the playoff, I was about 3 yards in front of my drive. So we just clubbed up and trusted the wind that was going to hurt a little bit and hit a pitching wedge and try to hit it a little more into the bank and let it skip up, and it didn't get the skip. So, but I was happy to see the ball stay up on top of the hill.
It's been almost a month since your last start. Can you talk about why you took that time off and what you did during that period?
Yeah, it's definitely nice to go home, see the family. I haven't been home since February, since Mexico, and before that week I had 3 weeks off, I think, as well. So it was nice to get the refresh, come back with the new equipment, not overthinking too much stuff. I think I did a really good job at not coming in expecting too much because so much has changed. So it's nice. I thought I didn't hit enough balls at home. I could have done a little bit more work, but it's nice to kind of see some results coming from the club fitting and having some time off to breathe a bit.
Next question. We can get a mic up here to Tony for the next question, the second row.
Tony Paul, Detroit News. You kind of talked a little bit about it earlier, but do you think when that something switched in your game today, do you think you came out a little bit more tentative and got more aggressive, or how did you?
Yeah, I think it's very different sleeping on a lead as well. I think if you're 1 or 2 shots back, you kind of have the mindset of, okay, I need to play well, and there's 5 or 6 guys who are right behind me 2 shots off the bat. So I kind of need to kind of feel what the day was going to be like. Saw some guys up early getting up that leaderboard, and the guy I was playing with, Max, he was also playing really good golf. So once after that 5 or 6 holes when I lost the lead, I kind of figured, okay, we got to change, we got to play like we played the last 3, and that was my intention going into the day as well. But it's so hard to commit and really trust to do that. It's you kind of need it's such a big mental switch you need to put on. And once I did that, it was kind of a big game changer.
Is it almost more fun to play from behind, to kind of be the chaser?
Yeah, I think it's big for me. I like to kind of set a target to meet that target, and it's hard to kind of know what other guys are going to do. It's kind of like playing match play. It's very different to playing a golf course where you're just trying to hit your golf ball and play the golf course. Every hole is going to be different. Where playing a player, it can change so much, and playing a player, you can be a bit more aggressive with playing match play, but you also don't want to make big mistakes because there's 6-7 guys right behind you pushing you all the way. So once we made that switch, it definitely helped me to kind of go a little bit more flag hunting and hit the ball a little closer.
Lastly, did you throw the ball away to a fan?
I did.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. It was just in the moment. I was just pumped up. I know my grandma's probably going to be quite mad at me. I give her all my stuff that I've won with, so she's not going to be pretty happy.
Stay on the right.
Thanks. Aldrich, congratulations. Nick Manis with Crane's Detroit Business. Anything, about the course particularly that stood out to you regarding your game and how you played it?
Yeah, I think the front nine and back nine definitely played different with the wind switch we had yesterday and today. Yesterday made the front play a lot easier and then the north or the south wind played the back a little bit easier. So it was definitely nice to get that birdie on 7 and 8, knowing you're going into the back nine where you got some good opportunities that's going to suit my game, especially the par 5s. I was happy to walk away with 2 birdies, and I probably should have eagled 17. I left that putt short again. So it was nice coming into this back nine knowing that I can go at some flags and be a bit more aggressive.
Just go back one. Yeah.
I'm Matthew Ogden, Boston Detroit Free Press. Congrats on the victory, obviously, but I was wondering, you said yesterday you're a little bit of a scoreboard washer when you're playing, and you obviously had a tougher time on the back nine yesterday than you did on the front nine. Was there any point where you were particularly concerned watching the leaderboard on the front nine, and how did you prevent yourself from kind of getting overwhelmed by that feeling?
Yeah, yesterday there was a lot of guys. Obviously, I'm teeing off at the back of the field. There was a lot of guys going really low, really quickly. So we knew, okay, we had to get going really quick. And then going in today, it was quite a little bit different because I had a 2-shot lead. So I kind of had to get a feel of, okay, what's the wind doing? How's the course playing? It got a little bit more dry, so we thought it was going to play a little bit more difficult, but we saw so many guys still making a lot of birdies. So when we made that turn onto this back nine, we said, okay, let's give it a go, and we like this back nine, so give myself the most opportunities for birdie, and hopefully a lot of putts drop.
Anybody have any more questions for Aldrich? Awesome. Aldrich, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
They say pressure makes diamonds. And in Detroit, under the blazing heat and eyes of the golfing world, a South African gem just shone brighter than ever before. Aldrich Potgieter, just 20 years old, has made history by becoming the youngest South African to win on the PGA Tour, capturing the Rocket Mortgage Classic in one of the most dramatic finishes the tournament has ever seen. It wasn't just a win. It was a coming-of-age moment for a young man many had called talented, but few expected to rise this fast. The Rocket Mortgage Classic, known for its tight leaderboard battles, turned into a 5-hole playoff between Potgieter and American Max Greyserman, each hole more intense than the last. And through it all, Aldrich kept his cool, showed maturity beyond his years, and delivered clutch shot after clutch shot until the final putt dropped. So how does it feel to make history? In his own words, Aldrich was overwhelmed. Not with nerves, but with gratitude. He said it was the kind of moment you dream about as a kid hitting balls into a net in your backyard. Winning on the PGA Tour against seasoned professionals in a high-stakes playoff, it was more than just a trophy. It was validation. It was the start of something big. For South Africa, this is more than just another sporting headline. It's a signal that the country's proud golfing legacy, built by legends like Gary Player, Ernie Els, Retief Goosen, and Louis Oosthuizen, is being carried forward by a new generation. And Aldrich Potgieter is now officially leading that charge. What makes Aldrich's rise so impressive is not just his age, but the way he got here. Born in South Africa, he's been on the radar of golf insiders for a few years now. He burst into international conversation after winning the amateur championship in 2022 at just 17. That gave him starts at the Open and the Masters, and while he didn't win those, he showed glimpses of brilliance. But now in Detroit, he's converted potential into performance. He told reporters that what made the difference this week was staying patient and trusting his process. Even when his lead slipped, even when Greyserman forced extra holes, Aldrich didn't flinch. He said, "I knew I had more good shots in me. I just had to keep swinging the way I've practiced all my life." And that's what he did. One of the most unforgettable moments came on the third playoff hole. Aldrich hit a towering iron shot to within 4 feet of the pin, while Greyserman landed on the edge of the green. The crowd roared, and Aldrich, calm as ever, just nodded to his caddy. He two-putted that hole, then held steady through 2 more to finally seal the deal. After the win, his phone lit up with messages from friends, family, coaches, and some of South Africa's golfing icons. He said one of the messages that hit him the hardest came from Louis Oosthuizen, who told him, "This is only the beginning. Keep your head down and swing free." Potgieter also took time to reflect on what this win means for aspiring golfers back home. He said he hopes his victory shows young South Africans that it doesn't matter where you come from. If you work hard, believe in your ability, and surround yourself with good people, anything is possible. He acknowledged that access to golfing facilities back home isn't always easy, but he encouraged kids to make the most of whatever they have. Even if you're just hitting balls in the dirt, if you love it, keep going, he said. This victory is expected to change Aldrich's life in many ways. His win not only earns him a 2-year PGA Tour exemption, but also a ticket into the FedEx Cup playoffs and upcoming majors. He's now a household name in golf, and endorsements, sponsorships, and media attention will come fast. But listening to him speak, you get the sense that he's not going to lose himself in the hype. He credited his family for keeping him grounded, especially his father, who introduced him to the sport. "He's been my biggest supporter and my toughest critic," Aldrich said with a smile. "We've been through every high and low together, and this win is for him." In South Africa, social media erupted with pride. Fans, sports analysts, and even politicians praised the young champion. The hashtag #PotgieterWins trended as people celebrated this milestone, calling it a bright moment in a time when the country really needed some uplifting news. And that's the beauty of sport, isn't it? It can lift a nation, inspire the next generation, and remind us all that greatness doesn't wait for age. It just needs the right moment. And Aldrich Potgieter seized his with both hands. So what's next for the young champion? More tournaments, bigger stages, and undoubtedly more pressure. But if the Rocket Mortgage Classic is anything to go by, Aldrich is ready. Calm under fire, wise beyond his years, and already a history maker. Aldrich Potgieter didn't just win a tournament, he announced himself to the world. And South Africa couldn't be prouder.